In the early morning hours of July 31st, 2022, a violent crash in Strongsville, Ohio would become one of the most debated criminal cases on social media. At first, it looked like a tragic accident involving 3 teenagers, but as investigators uncovered more evidence, prosecutors began to believe something far darker had happened behind the wheel. 19-year-old Mackenzie Shirilla was driving a Toyota Camry with her boyfriend Dominic Russo and their friend Davion Flanagan inside the vehicle. Security footage later showed the car speeding through residential streets at nearly 100 miles per hour. Witnesses described hearing the engine roaring moments before the vehicle slammed directly into a commercial building. The impact was catastrophic. Dominic Russo and Davion Flanagan were both killed instantly. Mackenzie survived the crash with serious injuries, but almost immediately, questions began to surface about what exactly happened that night. Investigators reviewed surveillance footage frame by frame. They examined the steering patterns, the speed of the vehicle, and the lack of any evidence showing the driver attempted to brake before impact. Prosecutors argued that the crash was not an accident at all. Instead, they claimed Mackenzie intentionally drove the car into the building after an argument with Dominic. As the case gained national attention, people became divided. Some believed it was a deliberate act fueled by emotion and anger. Others argued that prosecutors were turning a reckless teenage mistake into a murder case without undeniable proof of intent. During the trial, the prosecution described Mackenzie Shirilla as hell on wheels, pointing to her driving behavior in the moments before the crash. They argued the evidence showed she made a conscious decision to accelerate toward the building without trying to stop. The defense pushed back hard, claiming there was no direct evidence proving she intended to kill anyone, and they insisted the crash was simply the result of reckless driving and immaturity. The emotional weight of the case became impossible to ignore. Families of the victims sat through heartbreaking testimony while the country watched another story involving teenagers, social media attention, and devastating consequences unfold in real time. In August of 2023, Mackenzie Shirilla was found guilty on multiple counts, including murder. The judge sentenced her to 15 years to life in prison. Even after the verdict, public debate continued online, with many people still questioning whether the punishment fit the evidence or whether the crash should have been treated differently under the law. The case of Mackenzie Shirilla remains one of the most controversial true crime stories in recent years because it sits in a gray area between recklessness and intent. 2 young men lost their lives in an instant, and an entire community was left asking the same haunting question: was it truly a murder, or a deadly decision made in moments of rage and immaturity?